let's talk about the Detroit Lions. This is a team, offense already set. We know it's going to be great. Defense, I think, really started to come into its own last year. We saw a lot of great things out of the defense, but this offseason, a lot of great stuff got added to this defense, especially the defensive line. I think, obviously the secondary got Terrion Arnold. I think he's going to be a big time impact player for the Lions. There's one guy in particular who I think is the most intriguing, not addition, not a new guy to the team, but guy that's been there for a little bit. And I think they're starting to finally figure out how to potentially use him. And that's linebacker Derek Barnes, a guy who can do a lot of different things pretty good. And I think if they use him in that way, it's going to be successful. Let's get into the article and we could talk more about it on the other side. This, of course, and from over on Sideline Report, says Barnes played in the middle last year too, but also moved around to play a significant number of snaps at outside linebacker. It will be interesting to see how the Lions deploy him this season. He worked this spring both inside and outside. He's becoming a very versatile player who can play a lot of different roles in that room. Counting the playoffs last year, according to Pro Football Focus, Barnes played 195 snaps at outside linebacker. Over his sophomore and junior seasons at Purdue in 2018 and 19 respectively, he totaled 10.5 sacks and 19 tackles for loss. While he has transitioned to playing off the ball in the NFL, the ability to get after it off the edge probably isn't totally gone. Nick, this is very far apart, but reminiscent of like a Micah Parsons-esque player. A guy who can do a lot of different things. I'm not saying Barnes is of the same caliber of Parsons, but I think what we saw from a guy like Micah Parsons is when you get creative and you start to implement a player, you get the best out of them. If you only put them in one box, you might not know what you have in some of these other positions. So I think Barnes is really interesting in that respect. I'm curious what your thoughts are on this one, but Lions fans, in the comment section below, I want to know, who is your favorite, most versatile player in Lions history? Is there a guy who really could just move all around the ball? Whether it's being, a linebacker, inside, outside, edge, a guy who moved across the defensive line, a guy who could really, safety who could come stack the box, or on the other side of the ball as well. A lot of different options there. Who's your favorite, most versatile player in Lions history? In the comments section below. But while you're down there, check the description below the video. We have a really, really great book we'd like to recommend to you, and it's easy to get. Check our Amazon affiliate link below. We have Mike Florio's Playmakers, an excellent book. Check it out in the description below the video. Use our affiliate link. It's no extra cost to you, but it does help us out if you want to check out a great book for the summer. But Nick, what are your thoughts on Barnes and the Lions?
So I think it's a really smart move by Aaron Glenn and the Lions defensive coaching staff, because we always kind of envision players as, okay, they're this or they're that, right? Okay, they're an edge rusher. Okay, they're an inside linebacker, or they're an outside linebacker, or they're a strong safety. And that's for 9 times out of 10, that's what it is. But the reality is there are some players that really don't fit in a box. They really don't fall into the position, right? They can be athletic playmakers. They can be disruptive forces for your team, certainly on defense, but they really don't fit in the role, right? They're not an edge rusher. They're not a defensive tackle. They're not a middle linebacker, right? They're a guy that you line up in a bunch of different places and you say, forget your position, go play football. And that's what Barnes is. And that's what, according to this report, the Lions are starting to recognize that's what they should use him as, which makes total sense. Because if you look at Barnes's PFF grades in terms of overall performance in traditional roles, it's pretty ugly, right? You go back to his rookie year, he graded out overall 30.1, 2022, 62.3, last year, 60.7. That's obviously, if you're trying to win a Super Bowl, like the Lions clearly are in their title window, that is not going to get it done. But the problem I think the Lions kept running into is they kept trying to find a role for him. It's like, okay, he's a third down middle linebacker. Okay, he's a pass rusher in this situation. How about you just treat him as a positionless player and just say, okay, we're going to create this, when we run this play, this defensive scheme, this is what you do, right? Stop thinking of yourself as a linebacker. Stop thinking of yourself as an edge defender, whatever it may be. Just play football. We're going to put you on the field and let you play football. The longtime great in the National Football League, Tyrann Mathieu, when he came out of college, a lot of people were concerned that he could not be an elite NFL safety because, frankly, he never really played the safety position, right? He just ran around the field at LSU and made play after play after play. Then he got to the NFL and coaches realized that, hey, the smart thing to do is let's not have him play as a safety. Let's just put him on the football field and let magic happen. And Matthew fortunately had some smart coaches, and he had a great career. It has an ongoing great career. Derek Barnes, I think, has that same kind of skill set, that tool set, in terms of he doesn't fit in a certain position. He can be a disruptive entity for your defense. He can create tackles for losses. He can create sacks. One thing that I think is promising is that last season he had 15 hurries, more than his first 2 years, 3 times more than his first 2 years combined. So he can, again, prove that he can make plays for your defense. You just need to take some of that pressure off. Let him be a positionless player, and it looks like the Lions are allowing him to do just that.